Welcome Wolfpack, we are here on the way to my first wild camp for the channel, for this channel anyway. On the walk and talk you'll remember I'd found a small little bit of woodland in between two fields and I was keen to give it a go, bring my hammock down, see if we can get a little base camp set up. I've got a new hammock system that I've upgraded since the last time I used it, so that'll be interesting. I've got a Whoopie Sling, some soft shackles. I had a slightly different setup last time. So we're on the way now. It's a bit of a hike. My pack's pretty heavy. The sun is absolutely beaming down. I've got sweat dripping down my face and no spare hands to wipe it off. So the idea is I'm going to get set up in the woods. I've got a flask of tea. I'll get a little bit of a base camp set up, see what it's like in the location. Magic Hand's going to join me a bit later with Hugo, is the plan, and we'll see how well it goes. Thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you for hitting the like button. And here we are. We are in. So I think after walking around for a bit, I think this is actually the spot where I was that I found before, and there's a much better clearing here. So what I need to do is to find a couple of trees to get the hammock up into. I want them to be decent size enough and of course spread apart enough. But it is a lovely location, it's nice and quiet, and like I say, there's no one here, so we are on our own. So I've come back down the other end, near where I came in actually, and I think I'm liking the look of this tree here, connected to that tree there. The branches look pretty sound. There's no widow makers up there. There's all green leaves and everything, so we've got no worries of that. So this is the tree. I'm back around the other side, looking back the other way now. That's the tree, and that's the tree. You'll also notice this tree here, which is also like perpendicular adjacent to where I'll be going. So I'm not sure if the tarp coming out is going to be a problem, but I guess we're gonna figure it out. Maybe we'll do it the other way and have it sort of facing out that way more. I did just take a wander down there with a little bit of, you know, indecision. I took another look down there, which I haven't been down yet, and it's actually a really good spot. But for today, we're going to deal with these two trees here because we don't have time on our side. The light is going to start dropping pretty quick. It's reasonably low in the sky already. But before any of that, I wanted to give you a quick overview of my Bushcraft Bugout bag and give you an idea of what I've got with me today's loadout. This is a 511 Tactical Rush 72. Yeah, so these are my own Velcro eyes and Sigma wolf eyes, and obviously Sigma claw patch. But this is the 511 Tactical, which is my favourite bag ever. I've had it for several years, couple of years, and it's absolutely untouched and just beautiful. So you've got a big old side pocket here, big old side pocket there. I'll show you what's in them as we start getting things out. But it's pretty loaded up. I've got the sticks here, which I just have on with these bungees. Now I may use these as my tent pole for the tarps, so we'll keep these. You see I like these bungee balls. Just releasing the other ball from the hiking stick, but you'll see this can't push down because you have that below it, but also you can see the handle straps here connect through a molly strap and into a carabiner, so that couldn't pull down and lose my sticks. That's how we do that, and then we can just release the other hiking pole along with the other one. And the bottom is the next part to take off, which is actually where my kind of sleep system is. At least that's my hammock, and my tarp is in there in the one bag. And there is my DD Tarps bag. That is essentially my base camp really in there. I do actually have my sleeping bag with me and an air mat, just to see how it will go in the hammock. So we'll see how that works out. I'm going to show you quickly what's going on here then. So I've got the ridge line put up, and I'll just show you what I'm using here. This is Amsteel Dyneema 1.75 millimeters. This is a Dutch hook, titanium Dutch hook, and I've made like a loop in there that's hidden, connected. So this goes around the tree and just connects in like that on one end, and then on the other end I've got a Dutch Wasp, named for obvious reasons. Now this is a titanium affair, again very, very lightweight, very small, and this allows me to go around the tree and then link back through. You can cinch it up to pull it nice and tight, and then tie it off using the antenna and the fly wing. So this is what I use as my, what you call a continuous ridge line. Now the way I set my ridge line up with the tarp here, you can see the way I've packed my tarp in, and this is the DD Hammocks 4x4 DD Tarp. I do like DD Hammocks, I've been a fan for many years. So what I've done here is, this is one end of the tarp and this is the other end of the tarp, and this is the middle attachment point. So I've got a small carabiner on there, nice lightweight carabiner. I've shortened this tag slightly with a knot in it, and on here I've got these mini carabiners. I've done a knot here just to make it a loop basically, right? But this is a prusik knot, which allows you to slide freely up and down, yeah, to adjust it. But then when you pull it in that direction, yeah, it doesn't move at all. And I'll show you how that benefits as I slide these out, and then I can just, the last thing you do is remove the bag, yeah, and the rest of your tarp just basically comes out, and then you can spread it along. So let's do that now. So let's take you up and show you what I've done then. So you can see here, it's pretty tight actually. Could do with a little bit more space, to be honest. The trees could do with being a bit further apart, but it'll be all right. So you see what we've done here with a continuous ridge line, yeah, going around the tree, and of course the tarp isn't actually touching it. The problem with having just putting the tarp over is that then when the water drips and runs down, it's going inside underneath. Whereas the way this works is you've got the prusik loops here, which I've just pulled nice and taut, yeah? So these are nice and taut. You've got the middle attachment point, which I've got just on a small carabiner. That's just not really much tension on there. The other end, we've got another, same situation, and of course this just going onto the Dutch hook. And so that's my setup. So I'll get this pegged out at the back then, and we'll decide which end we open up basically. But again, this is the DD Tarp's 4 meter by 4 meter camo tarpaulin. So I've got my cordage bag here, and I've just taken a few. We'll get to things like the tree straps for the hammock in a minute. At the moment I've just got a couple of guy ropes. I actually made these up last night. I use these chaps here, which are quite good for cinching up. And I've got olive green. This is cub cord, not paracord, so slightly lighter, a bit thinner. But what I've done here around the back so far, so we've got the ridge line across here. It's pretty good width trees, to be honest. We'll see what it looks like with the hammock in it. And we've got a couple of guy ropes here just coming in with 3 pegs, 3 guy ropes. So I've just got a lark's head through here. And then we've got this is how these work, look. So you see they just go down. And then when you let go, they lock back in. And again, these are nice camo flavour. It's pretty good colour for the ground actually around here. Yeah, it definitely makes it blend in a bit more. So that's where we've got to so far. So that's the tarp setup then. We've got the 3 guy ropes coming down middle and end. We've got the continuous ridge line setup with the Dutch titanium Wasp, and we've got the Dutch titanium hook on the other end. And this is how it looks inside, look. This is the benefit of the 4 meter by 4 meter tarp, is you've got so much room. And you can see what I've done here now with the hiking sticks, and they're not actually too bad. I mean, this would be virtually horizontal if I'd done that the other side, because the land's sloping up, so the walking sticks would effectively be higher. But this is fine. I've just got 1 guy rope attachment on here, just coming down to my pegs, which I take about 10 with me, but you see they're just aluminium, lightweight, and I buy these separately. But they're really nice to just pull out the ground. So that's how I roll with my pegs. And you'll see it's very stealth. It's all very stealthy, so on this one I've got a more of a bright coloured guy rope that I keep with me as my normal entrance, sort of, so I don't trip it. This will be where I'll be going in and out, but I'm happy with that. That's pretty cool. So the idea is you get the old tarp set up first on your continuous ridge line, and now I can work underneath here. I mean, obviously my pack would be under there, as you saw with the way I have my tarp packed in already, rigged up. Pull it off it goes, and everything stays dry. So now what we'll be doing is putting the tree straps on and doing the hammock under there and seeing how that fits in. So I'll take you and show you what I've got going on here with the hammock. First thing you'll notice is my DD Tarp's magic carpet. It's very handy. It's a very nice, thin, lightweight, just a tarp to go on the ground, XL size I like. Magic carpet. It just means you can obviously work underneath in the dry, you know, keeping everything clean and tidy. So the size of it is quite nice, and the whole thing is undercover as well, and it means you can get in and out of your tent, in and out of your hammock with your socks on. Now, what you normally get when you buy a hammock is like really thick, nasty rope that goes around the end of the hammock, right? It's really long. So I took that out, and I've got instead a very thin, again, Amsteel, which is just a double loop that goes around there, all cinched up. Look, I've threaded it through with a small bar, rounded bar. I've just got a lark's head attachment there onto my Whoopie Sling. So the Whoopie Sling attaches to the tree via tree straps, which look like this. So these are my tree straps. These are DD Tarps, nice lightweight, and I've got these are called soft shackles, again Amsteel, Dyneema, and you can just use them like a carabiner, which is actually stronger than a carabiner. Extremely lightweight, and so got your two tree straps here, and then we'll just use one of these, as you can see here, when you put it through the hole there, and it tightens up against the knot, and there's your carabiner. Here it is then with the hammock in. I haven't got the poles in yet. We'll do that in a second. I just wanted to show you what I've got going on here with the Whoopie Sling. So you can see here tree straps coming around the trunk. I could have gone around this twice, but it was a little bit, this is going to be fine. So basically coming in from the tree straps through the soft shackle there, you should have that knot at 90 degrees usually. And then we're coming into the Whoopie Sling, which I've got pretty tight. Yeah, and then that Whoopie Sling feeds into the end of my hammock link, right? This is how we adjust the length, just by pulling on this cord and cinching it up. And it's basically like a Chinese finger puzzle. This Dyneema cord is basically going inside itself. Sorry, that's changing the focus. It's all going inside itself like a Chinese finger puzzle. So there's about 6 inches of tucked. Yeah, same thing the other side. Tree straps looking good. Obviously the tree straps are just sort of make sure there's no damage at all to the bark of the tree, and it just spreads the load round. And of course same thing here with the soft shackle, straight into Whoopie Sling, straight into end of hammock, except this end I've used grey Amsteel rather than red, just to designate red end, head end. So that's what we've got going. So what I'm going to do, we've got some poles that go in there. The benefit with the DD Tarps XL hammock is you have the fly net built into it, which is handy. You can see here it's got the fly net, and then we just feed the poles through this, which gives it its shape, and then we should be about there. And we're losing the light really quickly. Yeah! And here we are. with the somewhat final setup. Not entirely final, but this is pretty much how it goes. You can see the clearance above the tarp, look. We'll come out this side. You see? So it's kind of perfect, yeah? You don't want anything touching the top. So this is how it looks. I've got the picnic blanket on here as well. Got a flask of tea, and we've even got some cookies. Chocolate chip cookies. So that's my reward for getting camp set up. This is all zipped up and everything. So this is how she looks. This is how she looks inside once you get in. Also, this is unique in as much as you have a double layer in here, and you can put a blanket in between as well. Sometimes I use the picnic blanket. I've got a proper under blanket as well for that tarp, for the hammock. That's the DD Tarps XL camo, and that is how we do. So I'm going to sit and have myself a nice congratulatory cup of tea and a biscuit, and maybe, I'm not sure if Magic Hand and Hugo Bear are going to come and visit before I start putting the stuff away, but so far I'd say this has been a very successful setup, and it means I can come here perhaps a bit more regularly and do some product reviews, show you some of my techniques of other things in more detail. And yeah, so bit of a DD Tarps day today. DD Hammocks, but this is how we roll. All the camo, it's pretty stealth. I do actually have camo netting as well that I could use to go over in the event of a super stealth camp, but that's just another bag to bring. But yeah, this is how it's looking. So I'm going to get myself sat down with a nice cup of tea to reward myself and listen to the birds sing as the sun starts to set. Cheers. So look who came to see me, Magic Hand and Hugo Bear, come to see the camp. Yeah, it's getting pretty dark. I've just about finished my cup of tea and biscuits. I've got the last biscuit left for Hugo Bear. He's going to get to have the last little sip of tea, and I've got one cookie left in the box, and then I'm going to figure out, seeing how long it takes to pack it all back down. Usually less than it takes to put it up, so I would say that's been a very successful camp. And thank you very much, Magic Hand, for coming to see me. Thank you to Hugo Bear for joining us as well. And from us, love, peace and progress to the pack.